Republican Congressman Tom Reed of New York. Congressman, thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me on, Kate.
Your reaction to the Supreme Court's decision?
I believe the Supreme Court issued the right conclusion in its opinion. It's about using presidential authority to keep us safe from threats that are around the world, and that's exactly what the court concluded.
Congressman, the court also said that in the majority opinion that when it came to it, it's within the president's power, and so his words before, during, and after kind of the travel ban was put in place, they don't matter. Do you think the president's words don't matter?
I think his actions is exactly what the court focused on, and rightfully so. And the actions of the order were exactly clear. Keep American citizens safe. We need a system in place that's going to vet people coming to America that want to do us harm and keep us on a path of security.
Do you think the travel ban 3.0, which is what the court considered, do you think it's a down version of the initial ban?
Well, you know, obviously there's multiple versions of the ban, but the ban that was reviewed by the court did exactly what I think it needed to do, is implement extreme vetting to make sure that the threats of terrorism, folks that want to do us harm here on American soil, are recognized, and that we have a system that protects Americans as its mission first, mission one type of priority.
Congressman Keith Ellison, I spoke with him a short time ago, and he said that this travel ban was putting lipstick on a pig. It is not within the president's authority to discriminate on the basis of religion. It simply isn't, and that's what he sees in this travel ban. What do you say?
Well, you know, obviously I appreciate my colleague's opinion on it, but I believe he's wrong on this issue. What we're focusing on is terrorists and people that want to do harm to American citizens on American soil with this order. And I think that's a reasonable position to take. We want to protect American citizens. And
that is, it's always been a reasonable position, right, Congressman? But when you look at where terrorists who have come, people who have come to this country, where they come from, where terrorists have originated, it's not in these countries that they've listed out.
Well, there's some come from these countries, some come from other areas, and that is why the ban is fundamentally on the foundation of keeping us safe, and that's the right conclusion that the court looked at and took action upon.
Do you think this decision would have been different had it been a Justice Merrick Garland on the court instead of Neil Gorsuch?
No, I think the court wrestled through the different issues that were before it, and they came to a conclusion that would have been upheld by a different court because it's the right decision.
Thing is, we will never know. That is one thing we will never know. Congressman, I also want to talk to you about, since we're in the midst of a crisis on immigration in a very different way, in another way, if you will, at the border with regard to the 2,300 children who are still separated from their parents. Do you know what the administration's plan is? Do you have a clear idea of how they will be reuniting these children with their families?
Yeah, my understanding of the process is they are doing exactly that. They are reuniting these families and getting that accomplished. And the executive order took that temporary step in order to make that happen. But that doesn't fix the problem, Kate. We need in Congress a solution to this because it's the law of the land that is fundamentally causing this issue to occur. And it's not an issue just with President Trump. It was an issue with President Obama. President Bush wrestled with this issue. It's time for Congress to act, and that's why I'm proud to be part of the efforts to force an immigration outcome that we're going to see here in the House this week and into next.
I would like to know where your confidence is, though, that the administration is doing just that, reuniting the children with their parents, because another Republican, Will Hurd, he was on just this morning, he was speaking to John Berman, and he says that he's really concerned about HHS's ability to reunite families because they were supposed to have a conference call yesterday, just a conference call to get an update on the process, and the phone number didn't even work. And he said, if they can't do that with us, I'm concerned with the ability of connecting kids. Don't you think?
I haven't had that experience. I'll let Will's experience speak for itself. But my understanding and communication with the folks at the White House, the administration, they're following through on that executive order. But let's be very clear here, Kate. This doesn't fix the problem under the executive order. That's why the law needs to be changed. That's why in Congress we should set aside our political differences and get this done for the people that are infected.
But I mean, political reality is guys can't get it done. I mean, it's not Republican versus Democrat. This is Republican versus Republican yet again with regard to immigration at this moment. Do you have any confidence, even on a narrow measure, not even adding any of the other stuff that always trips everybody up, on a narrow measure, can you get it done by the end of the week before you guys go on break?
I believe a narrow measure is the backup plan. Still working forward on this immigration bill on the floor. have an opportunity to get to 218, but if that fails, I'm very confident we'll get this narrow measure done, because we shouldn't have any disagreement on keeping these families together as they go through this process. There's broad Democrat and Republican support for that.
Do you think more judges, more immigration judges, would help in this effort? Would you like to see that?
Yeah, I think not only judges and resources, but you need to fix the border, you need to fix this process, and you need to do it by the law, changing the law of the land. That is fundamentally what is causing the problem.
Why then do you think the president is so anti putting more judges at the border? He keeps talking about 5,000 judges need to be, they're asking him to send 5,000 more judges to the border. I haven't seen that number yet, but in what people have been requesting. But why do you think why does he not want it?
Well, I don't think that's the case. I think what he's saying is that we need to fix the root cause of the problem, and that is a broken immigration system, a broken processing system, and then have the resources to go with it. Fix the problem, and then we'll make sure the resources are there. That to me is a reasonable approach to this.
But I mean, at what point are you to the backup? Because it feels like when Paul Ryan says we'll cross that bridge when we reach it, how are you guys not already on the bridge of needing to go to the backup of the backup of the backup if you really do want to get something done?
Well, that's why I was part of an effort to sign the discharge petition, Democrat and Republicans, to force this issue. It should have been done months ago, but right. Obviously people went a different path. Now all I can deal is with the reality of the day. I'm going to continue to be a voice in our office to say let's take action on this, and I'm glad we're taking action on this week, and that narrow fix is my backup plan that I think will easily pass and get to the Senate.
All right, let's see what happens in the next couple days. Thanks, Congressman, for coming on. Really appreciate it.
Always a pleasure. Thank you, Kate.
Thank you.